This is Leon, viewers, and the world. I'm sure you guys recognize me by now. I watched the president sworn in today, and still watching some of the ball, but the main part today was the most important part earlier today, and that's where the president and the elect president made history, and the vice president and some of the other members of Congress and the Senate. And I didn't hear on the news media, and I haven't heard yet, that because our Bible tells us that when you do one wrong or bear false witness against someone and you know it ain't true, you must confess that sin so you can win against it. I didn't hear none of that today. I heard people used to heard some of the candidates was blaming one that they wasn't born in the United States. I heard one versus one didn't know what they was doing. I heard one call some of the candidates call each other name. I seen them all coming together. That's a good thing. Ain't nothing wrong with that. God want that. But also God want me to remind all of the happy people and unhappy people today that that is not the way God wanted it to be. I'm sorry to tell you that, but if you read your Bible, you'll find out I don't have to tell you. The Bible said when you do one wrong, or your brother and sister wrong, which we all are, you must confess to them, one another, and ask them to forgive you for what you said. And what you said is bear false witness. Why do I have to do it in public? Did you make it in public? If you said so-and-so got a bad head, you're supposed to ask forgiveness in public. In other words, if you said it before the world, you're supposed to ask forgiveness for the world for what you said and done, because at the time you said it and said it, you didn't know what you was talking about. You was wrong. I didn't hear none of that today. That's why I come to you. I know many people don't like it, but that's the way the Bible said. And without we all being united 100%, we must ask each other forgiveness for what we said and done to them. Remember, there's a lot of people wanted to lock somebody up. There was a lot of people claiming that one did a lot of things while they was in there. I'm talking about all of the candidates running the race, what they was talking about each other and blaming each other and all this kind of stuff, and talking about some relatives and stuff like that. Now, God doesn't like that. He hadn't proved nothing that you've seen today. I can tell you that right now. And if you look at your Bible, you'll find out. Ain't nobody smart enough to know beyond the Bible. I don't care who you are and where you come from. The Bible said when you do your brother and sister wrong, or your neighbor or somebody wrong, go to them and ask them forgive them. Ask the forgiveness. That's fine. But when you do it public, you got to also ask public. And why is that? Let me give you an example. The Bible said unless you can confess your sin, and listen, you said public, then he would be ashamed to confess you before his Father in heaven. This is Jesus talking. I think all your preachers know about it. And I didn't hear no lot of forgiveness, people saying forgive me today. I didn't hear a lot of president candidates and what they said about each other, made headlines and talked about each other. They all shook hands. That was a good start and a good thing. But we need to go further than that. When you bear false witness against somebody that ain't true, that's sin. When you didn't ask nobody to forgive you for that sin, it is yet held against you. Whether on earth or in heaven, you're going to have to ask for forgiveness. It's got to be forgiven. no matter what you said that wasn't true. And I know a lot of sin somebody outside of me did and said it public, and they haven't asked forgiveness public because it ain't on there that day right now. I just come out of there. So that stuff is still sin. And I'm going to want to say to all of the candidates and then the presidents and the president-elect and all of the cabinet, unless you confess your sin publicly, like you have bear false witness against somebody, God is not forgive you yet for what you did to his children. Remember, we all his children. I don't care if the president said or something that was true, wasn't true about somebody, or vice versa, or elected. You must confess your sin publicly if you said it amongst the world of people and his children, and it wasn't true, and that was bearing false witness against something that wasn't true, and you knew it or you found out about it. That's when you got to come and ask for forgiveness. When you don't do that, that sin is held against you. And I will give you this: if you think you're going to win, no man win against sin. That's why we have to come clean. So we need to, I hope the country make it, but I tell you, it's going to be a hard time as long as until we can come together and realize that we have sinned against someone publicly and privately. We must ask for them forgiveness. Privately, that's fine. Nobody know but the person, the two people or the three or whatever involved. But when you make it publicly, you gotta also ask them publicly before mankind who heard that sin, that bear false witness against your neighbor or your friend, your brother or sisters, or countrymen. You got to ask forgiveness public. If you don't, you got to carry that sin. And it's hard to win with sin. Now, Leon going to close on that note to let you know that it's a lot of work. I enjoy everything I saw today, but I didn't see nobody said forgiveness me for what I said about you or she or her or him. And I'm talking about all of the candidates, including the senators, the governors, the candidate for president. They talked about each other like a dog, you want to ask me. I ain't heard none of them said, forgive me for what I said for you before the public, because they said it before the public. And that's what you have to do. And all you do is go to the Bible. The Bible says, if you can't confess me, okay, confess that I am, then I'll be very ashamed to confess you before my Father which is in heaven. So long, America. We got to get rid of sin, because we can't win. Leon said that because the Bible said that. I believe that, and I don't mind saying that. How is God can I say it? He says in the Bible, Leon. Goodbye.